Good morning, children. Welcome to the class of science. So, we are learning the topic which is nutrition in plants. So, let us complete our next part. So, we will start with the next part by first looking at the function of stomata. As you know that stomata are present in millions of quantity on the leaf. They are present on the leaf base. They are present on the stems of tender plants, tender green plants. And these stomatas, what function do they have? Stomatas helps in exchange of gases, that is mainly they take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. This is the first role of stomata, which is exchange of gases. What is the second role? Second role is whatever droplets are going to form during the process of photosynthesis, the water droplets are also given out through these stomatas. You can see in the picture given that these stomatas have stoma, which are also called as the openings. These openings allows the exchange of gases from inside out and outside in. So these stomatas plays an important role during the process of photosynthesis. Our next part is about an activity in which we are going to take two plants. One plant of the same species, we have to label one plant as A, the second plant as B. Now keep the plant B in dark room and plant A in sunlight and observe these plants for 3 to 4 days. After 3 to 4 days, take one leaf from each plant, from plant A and plant B, and perform an iodine test on it. Now what observations you are going to get? You are going to get observations from the leaf which was plant leaf which was kept in sunlight, that it will show you purple blue appearance in color due to presence of starch. Now from where does the starch come in the leaf? The starch is actually prepared during the process of photosynthesis. Now take plant B leaf, that is sample B. Put some iodine solution on this leaf. But before adding the iodine solution, you have to carry out the whole process. That is, you have to keep it in the water bath. This activity you have already learned in standard 6. Same activity you have to perform it here. That is keeping it in water bath. Then take a beaker, add some water. Now take a test tube filled with spirit, keep this leaf inverted into that spirit and boil it in the water plant. After some time, you will take that leaf outside and you will add iodine solution to it. Now the plant which was kept in dark room will not show the iodine test positive because it has not prepared starch. There was no process of photosynthesis in the leaf which was plant leaf which was kept in a dark room. This was because there was absence of sunlight. So this activity tells us that sunlight is necessary for the process of photosynthesis. Our next part, we are going to see other modes of nutrition, that is, this is what we have seen: heterotrophic, autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we are going to see heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The example is Cuscuta. What happens to the plants which carry out the heterotrophic mode of nutrition? they actually depend on other plants for their food, isn't it? So this Cuscuta plant is living on the plant which we call it as host, and the plant itself which is living on the other plant is called as the parasite. Which is the host plant? The plant on which this Cuscuta lives, and parasites are those plants which depend on other plants for their food. These parasite plants take out all the nutrients from the host plant. These parasites takes out all the nutrients from the host plants, and in this way they live. One such other example we are going to see, that is in other part, which is of a pitcher plant. What is a pitcher plant? A pitcher plant is an insect eating plant. This plant has a modified plant leaf part which is called as the pitcher. Pitcher consists of a cylindrical shaped or tube-like structure in which digestive juices are filled, and they have certain hairs inside this pitcher which goes in the downward direction. This pitcher plant also has a lid on the top. Whenever an insect comes near the inside the pitcher, this lid is being closed, and in this way the insect gets trapped in the cup-like structure which we call it as pitcher, and the digestion process further goes ahead. So this is a plant. It depends on these insects because it is unable to fulfill its requirements through the process of photosynthesis. So it has modified itself in a cup-like structure which is called as a pitcher. Another mode of nutrition which we are going to study is Sacrotrophic mode of nutrition, and the organisms which perform Sacrotrophic mode of nutrition are called as saprotrophs. Example is bread mold and mushroom. Bread mold and mushroom. These organisms, they feed on dead and decayed parts of the matter from the surrounding, and they convert it into an solution form. After sometimes when the material is being eaten up by mushroom or these molds which are growing on the bread, you must have observed that the bread has now converted into an slimy substance. So what is that substance? That is the end product. After eating up whole of the bread is left with slimy in appearance by these organisms. So we call such organisms as saprotrophic organisms. Our last part is symbiotic association. Symbiotic association or relationship is what? It is such kind of relationship in which two organisms lives in symbiotic relation with each other, that is give and take. One such example is of rhizobium bacteria which lives on the roots of leguminous plant. In return, the plant gives food material to the rhizobium bacteria, and the bacteria, what it gives to the plant? It gives the nitrogen from the soil. Because plants do not have the capability of taking in nitrogen, so this bacteria helps the plant to absorb the nitrogen. When the nitrogen is obtained by the plant, it uses it for the preparation of proteins. So in this way, two organisms live with each other for their survival. That is give and take relationship. We call this relationship as symbiotic relationship or symbiotic association. The very last point that I need to explain is how is the soil replenished with nutrients. Farmers add manures, compost and fertilizers to replenish the soil. So these manures and fertilizers helps to make the soil nutrient rich, helps to make the soil nutrient rich by with the help of this fertilizers and manures. Also there is presence of the bacteria called as rhizobium, which helps the atmospheric nitrogen to be absorbed, which is absorbed in the present in the soil, and this organism absorbs it and sends it to the plants. In this way there is the replenishment of the soil with nutrients. As you know that when plants are grown in one particular area, they eat away the nutrients present in the soil. When the second plant is sown, seeds are sown, they do not get enough material nutrients from the soil. Hence the farmer adds different fertilizers and manures to make the soil rich in nutrients. So children, in this way we have completed our first topic, which is nutrition in plants. I hope you all have understood it. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe.